Good morning, basketball world. This is the Around the Association podcast, and this is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving edition. And I'm your host, Dane Thompson, checking in with you. Follow me before I get into the long night, the crazy, wonderful night in the NBA. Let me give you a chance to follow me on social media. That'll be Danny, DANNY, the number 3, Thompson, THOMPSON on Twitter, as well as AroundTheAssociation.com and Around the Association on Facebook. Also, subscribe to this podcast, which is on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, and any place you can find podcasts. It's Thanksgiving. Give the gift of basketball that you get 5 days a week here on Around the Association. So last night in the NBA was wow. It was all about the big game last night, and really no game was bigger than my main man Giannis out in the Greek Freak put on a show last night. In the Bucks 122-118 victory over the Utah Jazz on Monday night, Giannis dropped a 50 spot. The fifth 50-point game of the season by a player. Giannis dropped 50 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and importantly, no turnovers as the Bucks survived a late comeback from the Jazz to win by 4 at home. This was probably Giannis' best game of his entire career. Like I said, he did everything that you would ask him to do, including showing the 3-point range on that 3-point shot last night. He finished the game 17 of 31 on the floor shooting. He also hit 3 of 8 3-pointers, including one of the more impressive ones I've seen. The Jazz, he came up on a pull-up transition 3-pointer to tie the game at 74 in the third quarter. This was all about Giannis tonight. I mean, and the thing is, when you get numbers like this, you had the 6 assists on top of that, but 0 turnovers. Giannis, he was just dominating. If you look at the stat sheet even further and go deeper into the stats, Giannis had 6 offensive rebounds. The Jazz had 4 as an entire team. Now, the Jazz did play last night. Rudy Gobert, he missed the second straight game due to injury. They got 24 points from Bojan Bogdanovic, 20 points from Donovan Mitchell. But really, the big play of the game was towards the end of the game, the Jazz had a chance to put this game even. And Donovan Mitchell's shot was blocked by Brook Lopez at the rim. Lopez's fourth block of the game, and it allowed the Bucks to knock down some free throws into the game. Like I said, Giannis's 50 spot was the big one. Wesley Matthews had 19 points, including 5 3-pointers for the Bucks. Bucks, like I said, they're now at 14-3, the best team in the Eastern Conference. Now, speaking of the best teams in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers took care of business in San Antonio, 114-104 over the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs are reeling, Lakers are streaking. LeBron 33 points, 14 assists in the game. This was a game where the Lakers dominated a Spurs team that just can't seem to get it together. Anthony Davis, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. This was all about LeBron, especially in the fourth quarter. LeBron, 12 points and 5 assists in the fourth quarter, could not be stopped. LeBron did did everything on offense. Like I said, 33 points, 14 assists. 13 and 24 shooting. He even knocked down 4 3-pointers in the game. It was a balanced effort from LeBron. He was everywhere on the boards, everywhere on the offensive end of the game. Like I said, Davis had 19 and 12. Danny Green, in his return to San Antonio, also grabbed 9 rebounds. Spurs were led by LaMarcus Aldridge at 30 points in the game. Spurs have just been reeling. It's just not been a pretty sight for the Spurs. They can't seem to get it together. They just can't find ways to win games and just really have just struggled. It's just been a big struggle this year for the Spurs. They've been changing starting lineups, and they're just trying to get it together. We don't know what's going on in San Antonio, but this is not the same Greg Popovich coach teams, and this Spurs team might be in a little bit of trouble, and especially get down deep in the hole in the standings before we get to Christmas. Spurs are now 6-12 on the season. Out in Chicago, the Blazers finally getting the win column, 117-94 over the Chicago Bulls, and this was, Carmelo Anthony showing what Carmelo Anthony does best. Melo had 25 points on 10 of 20 shooting, knocked down 4 3-pointers in the Blazers' victory tonight. It was Carmelo. It was pretty much a vintage Carmelo performance. Who had 8 rebounds, a couple of key knockdown shots, and even dunked in the game. CJ McCollum had 21 points, and Damian Lillard had 13 points and 12 assists for the Blazers in the game. Bulls were led by Wendell Carter, with Zach LaVine who had 18 points, and Wendell Carter Jr. had 12 points and 9 rebounds. This was a great defensive effort from the Blazers. They held the Bulls down. It was really a key second quarter run that put a third quarter run that put the game away. Blazers outscored the Bulls 30-18 in the quarter. It was, like I said, it was a big game tonight for the Blazers. Key stat, or a wonderful stat, Melo's 25 points allowed him to move past Alex English into 18th place in the NBA scoring list. It was, like I said, the Blazers ended the first half with a 12-6, a 6-point spurt, and the next thing you know, they stretched the lead out to as much as 90-68 in the third quarter. This is the Blazers team that we expected to see when they added Carmelo Anthony offensively. This is the type of talent they see, and we didn't know how good they were defensively. Blazers led by as many as 28 points in the game. Other games on the schedule. Let's talk about the game out in Toronto. One of the games you don't really expect to see, but the Toronto Raptors put on a defensive clinic on Joel Embiid in the Raptors' 101-96 victory over the Sixers. This is a game that we call the Marc Gasol Love Fest game. What Marc Gasol brings to the table is not always statistics, because Gasol only scored 3 points on what he shot one of 8 from the floor. He had 6 rebounds, 9 assists. But the biggest stat in this game was keeping Joel Embiid scoreless. For the first time in his career, Embiid went 0 for 11 from the floor, 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, scored 0 points, and even though he grabbed 13 rebounds, Embiid was held scoreless. Why? Gasol defends big men like you never would believe. He has a thing where Gasol, like, he has like some kind of kryptonite when it comes to big men. That's Nikola Vucevic. Guys struggle, especially the better players struggle when they deal Marc Gasol. I don't know what it is. Pascal Siakam had 25 points. Fred VanVleet had 24 in the Raptors' victory. The Raptors were once again missing 6 players again due to injury. There was no Serge Ibaka, no Kyle Lowry, among others. It was the defensive effort from the Sixers. Defensive effort from the Raptors to shut the Sixers down in the fourth quarter. The big thing was in this game was the Raptors held everything. They defensively locked down everything you could. At one point, like I said, the Raptors were streaking at the end of the game, but then on the offensive end. But the next thing you know, Gasol blocks a shot, and like I said, and it just pretty much gets the crowd ignited. Siakam had a 3-point play, and then forced a steal and finished the game with a dunk. To quote Nick Nurse, the Sixers couldn't get it done offensively. 8 straight stops by the Raptors to basically put this game away. You got to give the Raptors credit defensively, and Philadelphia might seem that Toronto's a house of horrors for them, because remember the shot last year with Kawhi Leonard, and now 8 straight stops down the stretch to keep them out of the win column on Monday nights. Around the NBA, let's start at the top of the night. Brooklyn took care of Cleveland 108-106. Spencer Dinwiddie had 23 points, including a game-winning jump shot with under 2 seconds to go in the Nets' victory. The Nets have won 5 out of the 6 games without Kyrie Irving in the lineup. 22 points and 21 rebounds from Jared Allen in the game. Cleveland played without Kevin Love, who was scratched at the last minute due to back spasms and back injury again. Were led by Larry Nance Jr. in his place, 20 points, 13 rebounds. Jordan Clarkson had 23 points off the bench. Out in Detroit, Magic got off to a good start. Magic didn't have a good second half. Pistons defense allowed the Magic to score 33 points in the second half. And the Pistons 103-88 victory over the Orlando Magic. Luke Kennard had 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in the game. Blake Griffin added 17 points. And Andre Drummond didn't double-double, but he had 18 rebounds to go along with 7 points in the Pistons victory. Like I said, the second half was all about defense. The Magic only scored 33 points. Like I said, the Magic are still shorthanded. No Nikola Vucevic, no Aaron Gordon, no Michael Carter-Williams. Evan Fournier Terrence Ross had 19 points, including 14 in the first half. Evan Fournier had 17, and Markelle Fultz had a nice little scoreline. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals for the Magic on the night. Out in Indianapolis, the Pacers welcome back Malcolm Brogdon, and they also welcome back the entire offense. T.J. Warren led the Pacers with a game-high 26 points. Jeremy Lamb had 19 points all in the second half, as the Pacers took care of the Grizzlies 126-114 at home. The Pacers got dealt contributions from almost everybody. They had 6 guys in double figures, 7 guys with 9 or more points. Like I said, Warren had the 26, Lamb had 19, Malcolm Brogdon returned to the lineup with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists for the Pacers. Pacers dominated the game. Once again, a huge third quarter to put this game away. Pacers shot the ball 54% from the floor and 54% from the 3-point line, while knocking down 18 of them. Jaren Jackson had 28 points, including a career-high 6 3-pointers. John Morant, 19 points and 10 rebounds. Once again, like I said, this was a huge spurt by the Pacers. They start out with a 16-point. They took a 16-point lead in the first half, and at one point they were up by 16 at the break. The lead was as much as 29 in the third quarter. Was it one? I'm sorry, early fourth quarter at 112-83. Pacers cruised in this game. Out in Atlanta, Karl-Anthony Towns 28 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists as the Timberwolves took care of the Atlanta Hawks 125-113. Big thing for the night was the Timberwolves need some help scoring off the bench. Well, Ryan Saunders decided to move Jeff Teague, a former Atlanta Hawk All-Star, to the bench. Teague had 8 points, 8 assists, which kind of sparked the bench. They moved Jared Culver in the starting lineup. Andrew Wiggins added 25 points for the Timberwolves in the game. Hawks were led by Trae Young, 37 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, but he also had 7 turnovers in the game for the Hawks. Hawks have seemed to still struggle without John Collins. They did get 22 points from Jabari Parker, but really nothing else from anybody else. A lot of guys had 7s on the scoreboard. DeAndre Hunter, Damon Jones, Cam Reddish, who returned to the lineup, Alan Crabb, all had 7 points for the Hawks in this game. Really, once again, this was all about the defense and the reserves. Timberwolves scored 46 points off the bench. Jeff Teague, as I said, just dominated the game with his effort off the bench, and he just did a lot of big things for the Timberwolves in their victory. And out in Boston, in a rematch of a game that happened last week, out where Sacramento edged the Celtics. Marcus Smart hit a big shot with under a minute to go. He had 4 points in the final minute. Celtics hold on to win 103-102 against the Kings. Smart had 17 points, 7 assists, 5 steals, leading the Celtics who didn't have Kemba Walker in the lineup. Buddy Hield had 41 points, and again, 11 3-pointers in the game for the Sacramento Kings. This one, like I said, once again, the Celtics had found ways to score and then really had a chance to just stop Buddy Hield in the game. Great job defensively. Jaylen Brown had a team-high 24 points for the Celtics, and Jason Tatum had 20. That was your Monday night around the association mix. Oh, yeah, by the way, Thunder beat the Warriors 197. Key run by the Thunder in the game. Chris Paul, with his typical wizardry at the end of the game, hit one big jump, hit a huge 19-footer with 36 seconds left in the game to give a Thunder a huge win on the road, and also their first road win of the season out in Oakland. Golden State played hard. Like I said, Golden State's still shorthanded. No Draymond Green, no Steph Curry, no Klay Thompson, no D'Angelo Russell, no Jacob Evans. As I said, we're led by Kyle Bowman's 24 points and 5 assists. Also, he had 3 steals, and Glenn Robinson had 25 points for Golden State in the game. Once again, Chris Paul 20 points and 7 rebounds, 5 assists to lead the Thunder. Dennis Schroeder at 22 points off the bench, and Dylan Gallinari 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists in the game. Like I said, the Thunder finally won a game on the road. There's only leaving one team that has not won on the road, and that's the Orlando Magic. The Thunder in that game also scored the final 13 points to pull out the victory. So, stud of the night, do we really have to go to stud of the night? The Greek Freak, 50 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists in the Bucks victory, which is completely dominating. Other guys that you have to give credit. Oh, yeah, we forgot about the Miami Heat. Taking care of the Charlotte Hornets, 117-100. Bam Adebayo, 21 points, 32 rebounds, 5 assists to lead the Heat in that game. Heat were just dominated from start to finish. The Heat controlled this game defensively. Bam Adebayo was rolling to the rim. Jimmy Butler had 21 points. Adebayo had his ninth double-double of the season, and also the Heat are undefeated in those games. The Heat are 7-0 for the second time in team history. The last time they went 7-0, they started 8-0, and that year they won the championship. One thing about the Heat is they've been dominating at home this season. They have won at least they led by 15 every single game, and have won. They won last night by 23, and even got as much as 20 points in 6 of those games at home. They have been dominating at home. Charlotte got as close as to 14 in the fourth quarter, but too much Miami in the game. Charlotte was led by Terry Rozier at 19 points and 9 assists, and Devontae Graham had 16 points for Charlotte in the loss. Once again, like I said, it was all about Giannis tonight. He is the stud of the night. 50 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. Other studs of the night, you got to look at, I said Marc Gasol because of what he did to Joel Embiid last night. Carmelo Anthony's 25 points. LeBron James' 33 points. All were consideration for stud of the night as well, too. Tuesday night in the NBA, as we get closer to Thanksgiving, just a 2-game night, and both of them are going to be some fun games. The game we should be watching 8:30 tonight, Clippers and Mavericks, games on NBA TV. This is the game where can the Clippers find a way to stop the streaking and scorching hot Luka Doncic. The Clippers are one of the few teams that have enough defensive players to match up with Doncic. I'm going to love to see what Doc Rivers is going to do with Patrick Beverley, Paul George, Rodney Magruder, maybe even Kawhi Leonard, Mo Harkless. He's going to throw everything at Doncic. And the real question is, can his teammates, including Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr. score enough points to keep the Clippers one of the best teams when they have everybody on the floor defensively in check. Late game, Wizards and Nuggets. This game's at 9 o'clock. The Mavericks game's at 8:30. I guess you say a late game because it's the one that started late. The Nuggets are 12-3, and the Wizards are a team that's been scoring up and down. This should be a high scoring affair. I love this. This game's gonna be so entertaining to watch. If Dallas wasn't on the air at the same time, we're probably watching both of them at the same time. Nuggets should be able to get up and down the court. The Nuggets have to figure out ways to keep Bradley Beal off the scoreboard. Beal is having having a career season, and the Wizards have been competitive in a lot of these games anyway. The record might not show at 5-9, but this is a completely different Wizards team. Bradley Beal is playing his best basketball of his career, and the Nuggets and the Wizards have the second best offense in the NBA, going against the Nuggets who have the best defense in the NBA. Like I said, this is going to be a contrasting in styles. So we caught you back up on the entire night on Monday in the NBA. Follow me on Twitter at DannyDANNY Thompson, 3 Thompson, as well as on Facebook at Around the Association and on AroundTheAssociation.com. Subscribe to the podcast and pass it on to all your friends because guess what? It's Thanksgiving. So we'll catch you guys. Like I said, it's a 2-game night in the NBA, so it'll be a pretty easy night to go over with you and preview Wednesday's big game before the holiday. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Around the Association. Peace.